trapped in there. Cleaning up the bottom of the broom I had there. Over. Alright, so you're ready to rock and roll, I suppose. As ready as we're going to be. So I'm going to start off with a bunch of browns, which of course means we're not starting with brown, but I'm going to do spattered crimson. But we're just counting this as like a more red auburn shadow style color. We are going to go ahead and just paint up everything on the chair, and by that I mean the wood trim and the upholstery. With this color relatively thin on top of the zenithal. Metal on the back of the chair, so we're not going to paint the back like we did the front. And I'm going to get the trim color there though. Alright, so what else? We got more trim around the bottom. Wheels are wooden. There's like a hair caught in there somewhere. Dig that out whenever we can. Oh, there's a trim. Well, okay, whatever. Whatever. And then we'll do the spikes coming out in wood. Right, stakes. Oh, that's really cool. Look at what's happening to my primer. God damn, Badger. I swear to God, their 3D primer has turned into complete trash. So look at this. I've never seen this happen before. Look at this. Nothing more. I am not feeling better. Please do not take... Wow, I'm so upset right now, guys. I'm ready to just turn this off. Do not take, like... I knew people were going to say that I was feeling better just because I'm doing this. I'm not. Okay, first of all. But, whatever. We're just going to paint this and ignore it. I'm just really pissed off that Badger's 3D primer is such trash. But, coming from a guy like Ken, I'm not shocked. Alright. Well, we're just going to ignore it. That's just really upsetting. God. What a trash product. And I knew it was different than it used to be as well. Like, it is not the same as it used to be. Alright, whatever. I'm going to take Auburn Shadow. just like on the surface. Or whatever, I don't know. Hopefully it's not gonna be really obvious. Or hopefully it doesn't continue, but I'm really upset that it did that. Confused why I didn't do it on other parts like the back, because there's more of the 3D primer on the back than there is, I don't know. Really didn't want to stream today, but I cannot get further behind, so here we are. I'm not feeling better. Please do not assume I'm better just because I am streaming. You literally cannot see that I'm any better because the pain is inside my lungs. So, but here we are. I have to do it, and we gotta move through all of the things that we were behind on, unfortunately. So, knowing that we have cracks on his outfit now, which is like so awesome. I could not be more thrilled with what's happening already today. In under 10 minutes. We will take some black and we're just going to try and hide it all with a black outfit of some type. So I'm going to take noir black and some of our military blue to make a nice bluish gray, and we will start to coat everything here. What I can tell, I mean, I'm just so mad about the dog. The dog will do in the same gray because we'll make it kind of white, but the cracks on the dog seem really obvious, but... we will hopefully just somehow cover them up to where they're not as noticeable. Back onto the hat here. Let me just get everything covered loosely. Alright. So I'm going to take the military blue. That hair out of there. So I know I messed it up, but the trim is actually metal as well, so. Hitting inside the spokes there. not sure if any of the parts of the crossbow are wood, so we're just going to do the whole thing in metal, and then we'll go back. I'm going for speed here, because I really don't want to be trapped doing this for so long, since there's so much metal, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go super fast, we're going to apply an all-over wash, and then we'll start building up like each section part by part. Similar to what we did for the witch, or whatever I call her, but she's a vampire hunter. Both of the minis are that we worked on. For a second. So this should be there. Can nobody hear me? Can you not hear me? It says you can hear me. It says that my mic is literally the same volume as the music, so... Do I just need to turn it? Like, it's literally the same volume it's always been, so no, that's you, Trash, not me. I mean, could no one hear me this whole time? Because I didn't change anything. So... So no one could hear me before? Yeah, it's been fine this entire time. So just making a dark purple wash. It's gonna go all over everything. It's mostly clear purple. A little bit of black, a little bit of that red. And we should be good. I'm gonna go for a like cool tone greenish gray like leather on his outfit. It looks like the cracking was the cracking looks like it was just that top layer of zenithal white. I'm hoping. I mean, I can't really. We can get super close here once this wash is dry, but I think that's what was happening. Was the 3D black primer behind it was still shrinking as it was drying. But I mean, this miniature had like 30 minutes of dry time, so I don't know, but maybe the humidity was off, you know, who knows. Okay, so now we just get to wait. Okay. I need to see if I have medicine in here. Even though it's gonna take an hour for it to kick in, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see if we can see the cracking. I'm sure we can. Yeah, it's there, but by the time we paint over it, I mean, you really can't see it necessarily. I mean, you can see it right there on that boot a little bit. I'm sure on the back of the dog where it was happening, it'll be more pronounced, but like I said, I think what we were seeing was the zenithal. I don't know. I mean, that's a real crack, but I just don't care. Don't have it in me. I don't have my little fan over here. And grab this. You're gonna hear a fan. I don't have a good place to put it, unfortunately. Yeah, I just have to hold it, I guess. I don't know. It's an annoying sound. Sorry, I'll mute myself. Okay. That is pretty much good. So let's begin work on the nice chair here. So I'm gonna grab some red, maybe magenta, and I still don't know where the skin tone is. I totally forgot that bottle's missing until right now. So I'm gonna get like a lighter brown here and some white. We'll go from there. Like a tan ochre. Okay, so we're working on the upholstery. I'm gonna take this tan color. It's already thin on its own. And we will begin pretending to paint it up. So volume-wise, what I'm doing is all the way up to the edge on the top, and then I'm kind of doing like a fake edge, like this, because a shadow would be cast as that upholstery kind of tucks itself back in, right? Let that dry so I don't get tea staining immediately. And I want this to be like red whenever we're done with it, so that's why we're using a nice sort of yellowy brown. A little bit down here. The trim on the chair is actually wood. You can see the wood grain. It is going to be a challenge because they didn't put a lot of wood grain, so. But we'll get it figured out. Same thing here, doing that sort of bottom highlight, and then pushing the top all the way to the edge. Let me back this out, sorry, I'm not in the frame at all. There you go. Or focus, I should say. Alright, and I want this to be like really rich, so I'm not trying to go too bright too fast. I want it to look kind of like crushed velvet. Something like that. Grab a little bit of white, just a brush tip full, mix it in. This is kind of like a nice tan skin tone. Like an actual tan. Not like the fake tan skin name that we always use. Which is really just a skin tone. Need to be a little bit thinner, still too pigmenty. Sorry about my palette cam, but I don't want to stop what I'm doing to fix it. Okay. So for 3 hours last night, Sydney, Tony, and I discovered an absolute phenomenal source of entertainment that you would never know. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that. So we found that depending on what you search on Amazon, that certain products, that there is a complete bevy of review photos and reviews that absolutely, without a doubt, have no business being on the internet. And instead of playing, our normal 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We usually will just play a game or two, we'll play For the King or something right until 10, and then we all get off to go to bed. Instead of doing that like we always do, we literally spent 3 hours looking through Amazon reviews for absolute insanity. Some of it, did you know that Amazon will literally let people post complete nudity in reviews? Just complete nudity. Complete zero self-awareness nudity in their reviews. Now, why would we spend 3 hours subjecting ourselves to something like that? Well, it's because these are reviews and people leaving said photos that have absolute zero self-awareness. So much so that you would almost think that these companies would pay money for the people to remove their review. And it was amazing. It was one of those things where it was kind of everyone, we're joking around, and it's if I made a secret Twitch or YouTube account and never showed my face, I could make content out of it because it's so insane. Yeah, there is an entire section of Amazon that is nothing but serious creepy, why are you posting this? Who's taking these photos of you? Why are you naked? Just amazing. So we did that for 3 hours last night, and it really felt like a therapy session because it was just so entertaining. all the way from like, I mean, we were finding gold, so to speak, all the way from like people leaving tooth whitening reviews on products to tactical gear. Now there wasn't nudity in the tactical gear, right? But specifically what I was hoping to find, which we did find under like tactical gear reviews on Amazon, were like morbidly obese, like McDonald's militia guys squeezing into like vests and then taking photos with like all their guns behind, like just complete, absolute entertainment. Or like Sydney is like, you know, going through different like bathing suit styles, and then just casually, just completely for no reason, in the reviews of some swimsuits, you see somebody's grandpa wearing the swimsuit, fully erect in the photo. This is on Amazon. So, gives you entertainment that you didn't know existed, you never asked for, but it's out there if you look. A lot of, not that you're, you know, wanting to find grandpa, but it's one of those things where it's, you know, the pandemic definitely has taught us that, you know, society as a whole is dangerously not smart. And then going and finding everything that we were finding last night just took it to a whole new level of very concerning worry for mankind. But, and like some, you know, there were some things that we could search that like we knew that there would be really cringy, like really bad reviews uploaded, or even better, right? Like I was looking at like silk robes or something, and just for fun, right? And then it would be like a women's silk nightgown that like a man, not in a like, it's in a creepy way, like a direct, he's only doing it to be creepy. There's nothing like, there's no other reason for it to happen other than being creepy, right? Like he's not just, you know, wanting to wear that product. It's like someone who's wanting to show, to like get you to see it. It's just, it's a very, very dark thing. Just leaving video reviews for women's, you know, like it's just really makes you think. Really makes you think, like, why is that a thing and why is it there? But that just tells you there's zero real actually, I mean, I know like you can't leave reviews that have like cuss words on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure that that's like an automated thing, right? Like it's like, oh, there's a bad word here, so it rejects your review. But clearly there is nothing on Amazon that prevents you from posting absolutely insanely inappropriate photos of yourself reviewing products. So it was pretty cool. Definitely eye-opening. So now I'm going in with a magenta, and I'm going to glaze the magenta super thin on top. This is going to prep the richness in our red velvet. We want it to shift to a different color. You can see already it's looking pretty nice with the highlight of that ochre showing underneath. So we'll let it dry for 2 seconds here. We'll put this in front of the little fan. Boom, look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to go with red. And you'll see what I'm doing it, but I'm not going to glaze the red all over everything like we just did with the magenta. So each of these, I'm gonna pull the red down towards the bottom like this. Now, I may have undermixed this, I may have added too much water, so this glaze might not be good enough, but we'll do 2 if we need to. But you'll see, it's gonna be reading as red once it actually starts to dry. So here again, coming down from about halfway, maybe like 2/3 from the top. Your glaze shouldn't be affecting really any of the dark tones, but look at that. So you see how you can create this like just super rich texture, right? I mean, look at that. So, fan once again, I'm gonna do it one more time. And we should be good. Let's check it out. Aha, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Remember, whenever you're doing it, you just want even surface tension all over everything you've applied, and that will ensure a nice and even glaze. It's the only secret, really, is you just have to make even surface tension with the paint. You'll be good. The overall contrast on this paint job is going to be dark anyway, so I don't really want to go bright with the back of the chair. We want to leave anything bright for our metals, obviously, because we need those to sell as like, metallic objects. But I'm happy with that so far. It's our first little completed part of our mini here. Okay. Cool, man. Alright, what do we do next? Should we do... The metal's gonna be kind of brutal, so... Maybe the wood. Let's do the wood. The wood should be fine. Really, the wood is like... What we have to pay attention to is just the chair. So, guess what? It's gonna sound crazy, I know. We're doing the exact same color we did a second ago. That nice tan ochre color, and this is all about lining, so it does kind of suck if you don't have super good brush control. I would say just traditionally highlight up certain parts or try and just hit top edges. But that is the first thing I'm going to do here is go through and we're going to outline every single little piece because that will set up our wood grain. I'm just going to take the easy route and do our exterior edges first. And I'm going to be careful right around like the other objects here, but flip it upside down, try and hit this little edge here. Sorry about that, you're not missing anything though. Alright, so now we kind of have our parameters to work in. I need to do the interior edges here right up on the front. I am going to pay a little bit more attention just because, you can see this section much better than like the sides. And the paint that I'm using, of course, has been thinned, so I'm not like getting, super contrast or anything built in immediately. I just want to get the color mixed in. Anytime I'm working with wood, right, it's going to be different than, it's a very similar technique if I'm worrying about wood grain to non-metallic metal or something like that, but you need variance. So, working with the thin paint, not having like, the exact same level of edge highlight all the way around, things like that only add to the believableness of whatever you're working on. But I would say that is a pretty good start for us. So right up on the top there. I don't really care. I guess we gotta do this side too, huh? I guess, huh? I liked the meme that I made where it was like me not painting a back of miniatures. Or like painting a base on stream. Okay. So, now I am going to take a little bit of... Oh, I just literally got purple on my brush. I'm going to grab... I guess we'll use white. It's fine. So we're just literally doing the exact same thing we did for the red. But, you know... But not. I don't know. Okay, let's see how nice it treats us. Actually, I am going to add a little bit of the spattered crimson here. So it's like a rosy tint, a rosy skin tone. Obviously dark. It's not light like a blush. This is like a rosy tan. Okay. My brush is wet, but it's not flooded, so I can use it like a pencil, and that is exactly what I'm about to start doing pretty rapidly here. So forgive me. That's the second time I've done that in 2 streams. That's so funny. So forgive me if I'm moving quick, but I don't want to get caught in the weeds, so here we go. So I'm essentially trying to get, let me back this up, sorry. I need to move the camera so that way I have a little bit of wiggle room, but you can still be zoomed in pretty well. Okay. Or I guess I could do the super zoom, right? That always seems to work out, but either way. Am I in focus a little bit? Jeez, there we go, okay, right here. We'll just do it like this, hold on. This way I'm not, that way I know you can see what's happening. There we go. So, I mean, nothing crazy, right? You're just trying to get the tip of the brush in there to create a variance in texture. And again, if you're not the best at brush control, whatever, just highlight it up like you would any normal surface, right? It'll still be okay. I would just make sure you have a highlight on that top edge, and you should be okay. We'll go ahead and just like highlight up a little section here completely, because I do want to go a little bit brighter, and that will help sell that. Angle is a bit tricky because of the hat in the way, but yeah, it actually is really hard here. Hold on. Like right back, because I want to go down. Couldn't even see what I was doing there. Okay, So that gives us room to work. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go through and gently do the angle here is so hard. All right. It's little whatevers. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking it works for wood. This side. My shipment of on sale Da Vinci brushes got here yesterday, so I was excited about that. I'm always impressed with how fast they get things out. I mean, I've ordered from so many companies in the UK, but then again, you know, whatever. I shouldn't really say anything, right? Because I mean, UK has different carriers, and it's just like our postal system. I mean, every shipment's different, but they got it to me super fast every time. I also like the way they ship them to you. If you've never ordered them from them, they oh well, you can't really tell, but they like put them against cardboard in this nice little sealed pack, and they all have like the caps on them or whatever. But I still had like 2 or 3 brand new ones left over, and the last time I bought them, about a year and a half ago, I bought 8. So if that's any reference of how fast I destroy brushes, because certainly it's my fault, it's not like the brush's fault. And I do a lot of painting, obviously, so other people get more mileage out than I do, but so this side I actually do kind of have like some very faintly sculpted in, but again, that's because of the filler airbrush primer that I use that we had such a weird reaction with earlier today with the cracking, which we can't really see at this point, which is fine. It just, I've never seen that happen. I mean, you guys saw what it looked like. It looked crazy. I mean, other than the fact that it happened, I'm more surprised that it was only like very superficial cracking and not like, you know, miniature ruining, because it looked like it ruined it, but I guess it's a good thing. Not all is lost here. Okay, so just very gently doing the bottom side there. All right, so we'll do this up top. Okay, did I do that side? I did. All right, so let's back up out of boo-boo mode here. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna add a little bit more white. Kind of like a little final highlight here. But really, this is just kind of like dots on the wood. You'll see what I mean. Anywhere where I had a cut, just to help sell the gouge or whatever. Not going to care about the sides, so I'm just getting the top. But why don't you care about the sides? Maybe I do. Maybe I should. Just a little. Yeah. Just a little. Here on the top of the back. And then we'll do his black leather, which in reality is going to be so many different colors, of course. This is what you come for. This is our Patreon Scholar Plus makeup class for this month, so this is our $10 level. It's a bit more advanced than the $5 class. Obviously, we don't go into as much detail as we do here, but we do need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit. I do love the backing though. I feel like it just looks so good. Alright, so let's work on our leather. I'm going to straight up take our military blue. So what's the deal with the focus here? Is it just... Is it not on autofocus at all? Oh yeah, okay. Alright, so I'm going to take our military blue, similar to what we're going to end up doing anyway for the metals, but going in on wherever our zenithal is showing through. Remember, if you don't have a zenithal highlight whenever you're painting, it's not a big deal. You can just layer as you would traditionally. It just helps me go a little bit faster. This one, not as much cheating, so to speak, right? What we painted last time, this lady, the zenithal helped a lot, right? But this zenithal mostly is just a very quick little step up from wherever the base color would have been, so. But I do use it to help me with any placement. Since I apply it, you know, from the direction that I want the light source to be coming from, which usually is almost always from above, right? It just helps the process. But it's always from the light source, whether or not that's from above or not, is up to the piece. If there was like OSL, right, like last time, I applied it also from the direction of her candelabra, so. Oh, that's metal. Okay, cool. Either way. Like I said, we're gonna go kind of like a cool tone greenish highlight on this. So we're just starting with this tone, and it should take us a different direction once we start applying whatever color's next. That'll be more of our scratches and texture color. And then we'll go back and we'll tint stuff down with the glaze, and it should look like a very worn leather outfit. Not as opulent, obviously, as the other Vampire Hunter. Even though I would love to see like a super rich, completely tricked out like guy in a golden, super gaudy wheelchair. I feel like that'd be super cool. Knowing they've done it once, they might do it again. Signum is usually pretty receptive to their feedback, and everybody loved this, so. Okay. So I am going to take some green. This is just going to be straight up leaf green, so very basic, right? Mix that in. 1-to-1 ratio, maybe a 2/3. A little bit more white so that it actually highlights. So this is actually really just kind of a great grayish green. I'm going to very gently get started here, applying it. And it looks to be a little bit too light. I'm going to add one more brush tip of white. Or not too light, sorry, too dark. Wasn't light enough. Okay. I like silver better, shiny, and a weapon. Sorry, Sam, I have no idea what that means. Alright, so this color is working perfectly here. Here, let's go in. So you can see kind of like how it's going to be layered. Silver is a weapon versus vampires. Okay, I still have no idea what your reference was, but he shoots metal, or he shoots wooden stakes. That's what that gun is. Is my phone going off? Hold on. Hello? Okay, well, I am doing Patreon, so. I don't know. I can't talk to her, so. Thank you. Okay. I accidentally just pulled some like red into that. The metal on the wheelchair? Okay, so the metal on the wheelchair hasn't been painted? Sorry, I'm just very confused at like what, I didn't say anything about that, I don't think, so. Alright, so we'll continue on. We haven't painted anything metal, so. sure to add in a couple of scratches and texture here. Nothing crazy, but enough to count. Alright, so let's back that out. Shake warning, boom, boom. Okay, yeah, that's good. Alright, so up onto the torso here. And then we won't do the trim in metal, but we'll pretend that like the shoulder here is the same leather. I'm guessing, yep. Okay, boom, onto the hat. Thank you. Yeah, I think, you know, going with this green on the leather will help all of the metals pop as well once we start pulling those out. I'm always planning, right, like whatever colors are going to be compared next to each other, and so that's why I thought, okay, if we're going to be going like bluish gray to white, then we should do a greenish gray for our black leather, quote unquote. Obviously, not super black leather, but I don't really know why I did that in the back there, but it's okay. Okay, so boom. I think we're good on that for now. We can add a shinier tone if we need to. I don't think we will. But should we do his boots? Do his boots really quick. Boots and gloves. I believe this was Auburn Shadow. Sorry, I didn't mention that. I'm just going back with the base color currently. Then I'm going to take a little bit of white mixed into the Auburn Shadow, and I think I'm going to take a little bit of, maybe a little bit of red. There we go. Get some water in it. It's too pigmented. Okay, and let's see what I can get out of that. Worthless. Okay, not bright enough. Looks like I still have the same problem I was having before the ER visit, where I'm like under mixing the highlight slightly. Okay, so now I just add a little bit more white, a little bit of that ochre color, and I'm just gonna go around the edge. Now that I did that, I know that we're going to just have to go a little bit brighter in general, and then we'll tint stuff down, which is cool. I always enjoy doing that. Anyway, we'll use some greens, some purples, whatever. Always looks really good for leather. This guy's super grungy, huh? Well, what's funny was the last paint job was so clean. I almost never paint clean like that anyway. But her outfit was so clean. I mean, it makes sense, you know, she's like a rich vampire hunter or whatever, but this guy's like grit. Grit to the extreme. Which is cool. I like that. Texture all around. Painting texture leather. I'm sorry, leather texture, there you go, is always fun for me. Okay, so nice texture-y goodness there. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the purple, very gently, too gentle. A little bit more pigment than that, right? There we go. Let's see, I'm just gonna kind of tint a couple areas here. And then I'm gonna get, who knows, probably like phthalo green. Probably, what am I saying? Of course. That's the go-to. Grab that. Hour and 15 minutes, huh? That's pretty good for just over an hour. But I'm confident. I mean, the metal's gonna suck, but I can go fast. But we can get it done. Let's do the dog next. You wanna do the dog? Do the dog. So just splotching in some color into the highlight. Nothing we haven't seen before. Cool. I kind of want to add some to the wood. I just can't help it. I'm gonna grab magenta for some other parts here. Sweet. Okay. Dog. Doggy. Alright, so I'm gonna take more black here. And I'm gonna make a 50-50 mix with this ochre color, add some white. Oh my god. Did you see how much just went on top of my brush? Okay, so scrap that entire plan. I'm just gonna make a random gray here. Did I make what? The sculpt? No, if that was the question. The sculpt is from Signum Workshop. And I believe they are in, I want to say Ukraine. But it is a 3D print, so I physically printed this 3D sculpture. Okay. Doggo. So easiest thing that we're gonna do here, we're gonna not pay attention to texture. I'm looking for form. It's usually the objective whenever we're doing fur. So I'm gonna do the brightest highlights, whatever, like the areas that have the brightest highlight, and then we'll go back and we'll wash that down and tint our highlights. That's always kind of the simplest way, I feel, to do good looking fur. Obviously this color is very similar to sort of the palette in general, but we're going to go back and kind of give it that like Afghan wolfhound kind of feel. I'm just looking for sort of the shapes and volumes involved on the doggy. So it makes the eye a little bit happier whenever, you know, somebody looks at it and tries to figure out what the heck they're looking at. Okay. It's pretty simple. Okay. Yeah, Signum stuff is really great. They are heavily inspired by the old French company Rackham. And I have a ton of Rackham stuff on my infinite backlog of miniatures. Okay, hold on. Wow, so I just got a message from my old roommate Tony, and their mom went into respiratory arrest last night about 3 a.m. They revived her, and now she is on a ventilator. She currently is in ICU in North Dallas with COVID. I know my friend messaged me last night. They canceled their ReaperCon trip. They're not going to go to Texas. Denton County is one of the most dangerous places right now to be. And there's no hospital beds or ICU beds. So, very concerning. I hope she can turn the situation around. That's really sad. She's a really, really sweet lady. Alright, so I'm taking a much lighter ochre skin tone color, and this will be sort of our highlight. So what I'm doing is I'm redefining our volumes here. Gonna look crazy for a minute until we can kind of wash it down, but well, and the dad also has Delta, and he's the one that gave it to her, and he is also the one that convinced her to not be vaccinated. And this is why you should listen to medical professionals and not the internet. So, there you go. It just sucks, man. This COVID thing's not going to go away. It's going to get worse for the next, 2 months. Alright, so I'm going to take a wash of the Auburn Shadow and probably some purple, to be honest with you. Auburn Shadow and purple. And we're just gonna dump that on top of the pupper. Look at that. The reason why we did the volume highlights that we did is because a wash is going to essentially help smooth out your homework, right? Like, it's going to bridge the gap in between the two colors, and then when it's dry, all we got to do is go back in and manually reapply highlights on top, and it should look really nice. It should look like a nice cozy pup by the time we're done with it. But we'll let that dry. I'm going to go ahead and make a skin tone color here for the face. We will wash it down, of course. His face is crazy, and just like the female vampire hunter we painted, it is heavily obstructed by the amazing hat. So once again, we are playing a game of hope for the best with the face. here to reply to that message. And then, I don't have any, I'm almost out of room on this palette actually, which is funny. But let me get a little bit of black. I'm going to paint the hair pitch black. I don't know what color we're going to end up with in the end, but I want to sort of redefine what we're looking at here. Alright, so we're kind of separating out the face. Okay, so should we dive into metal? I think we should, because I'm going to need more room for the dog. But you see the transition of the color on the dog? So even though we had that greenish gray underneath, it's actually just a much calmer tone compared to the nice ochre, which is what we'll use in general to do our final highlight, which should look really awesome, right? It's kind of all about prepping what's underneath for whatever your final color is going to be. Make this darker right here. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna get a new palette sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna get plenty. I'm literally pouring it out of the bottle of the military blue. Boop, there we go. Of course, get some on my finger. It's always good. Some white. Kind of go in here with a 50-50 mix to begin with. Ooh, sorry. I mean, it's not much to look at really using two colors. But we're going to begin the painstaking process that is probably going to take up the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes. We'll see how fast I can do it. I'll go as fast as I can, of course. Okay, going in for the little detailing on the shoulder. He actually has a respirator. cool. All about that lung safety. I'm right there with them. And he has a bunch of bullets, so we'll just assume they're silver bullets as well. Paint the banding on them separately, but easy enough to hit the side of the brush, which is always a plus. Okay. We're gonna go really loose on a lot of this stuff, but just don't want to spend 1 billion hours, right, trying to finish up the paint job. Of course, if you're painting this later, you can just do all this with metal paint, right? You don't have to do what I'm doing. Save yourself lots of time. Oh! I hadn't touched the camera in like 15 minutes, or 10 minutes, however long it is. Camera said no. all these panels back here, I'm literally just gonna hit the panel lines. Like, I'm not gonna try and individually shade up every single one. This is also one of those instances too, so, you know, one thing about 3D printed miniatures is, for the most part, the benefit is that the designer they don't have to key out parts, right? So they don't have to be like, alright, I need to make sure that this glue's on, this glue's on. Most of the time, it's actually more work for a 3D sculptor to piece out all the parts, right, to then be glued together later. So it's faster for them, especially with these Patreon-style creators, to just do everything and they print off in one piece. So even if you wanted to really go ham on the back of this guy, you know, the paneling is very almost inaccessible just by the nature of, you know, how the things are sculpted and produced, right? So, but that's a good example, right? Usually it's kind of like a smaller area that can be more problematic for you if you're trying to do like really fine detail work. But in this instance, it's like the entire back. Now, what is impressive, and I will, even though, you know, it started with much heartache today with the splitting, or the cracking or whatever, the back of this print had pretty noticeable banding because of the actual support angle. I didn't support this one myself. Signum usually does a pretty good job of doing auto supports for people. So I just printed it as is, and the back angle literally was like almost 90 degrees. Well, no, it wasn't, sorry. It was, the majority of the body was at 45, so I would say that this was at like 30 or something, so there was some banding, right? And that 3D filler primer, right, just whoop, completely got rid of it. So, you know, even though it was extremely annoying that it was cracking, it did do its job. So, I don't know. It's such a finicky product. But if it barely works, it works enough for me. Okay, so over here, so we're going to do our reflection direction like this. Just kind of baking it in the side of my brush so I know where I'm going to be doing the rest of it. Okay. Okay, so back to the back here. Oh boy, there's so much detail. Okay, I'm gonna go as fast as I can. I'm not going to be doing outlining here towards the bottom and all these gears and sprockets. I'm just top edge highlights only. Okay. hit whatever I can hit with the side of the brush first. Ooh, I do have support edges here, so that kind of sucks, but it's okay. Yeah, it's a really fun sculpt. I remember when they previewed it, I was like, well, that's awesome. They also released a Viking in a wheelchair in the same release, so I guess they were just like, hey, let's go for it. But that sculpt is also very cool. Even though the name they chose, because they're not native English speakers, like their original name they had to change because it was like really insensitive. So, but they changed it. Like they, you know, that's the thing. A lot of these 3D Patreons are over in Europe. I would say the majority are actually, and then you know there's probably a handful, 10, 15 here in the U.S. But yeah, they not the best choice of words for that character name. This guy was always cool though. I forget what his name was, like something, the old hunter or whatever. So it wasn't just literally talking about the fact that he's in a wheelchair, but the other one was, I was like, damn, because they didn't change the file name. Like in the release info and on their My Mini Factory store, right? Like they changed the name of the character, but not the file. And when I saw the file, I was like, oh my god, y'all, you're gonna... If somebody complains about this, like, you got it coming, because you should have known better. Which, I'm sure somebody was like, hey, you gotta change this name. I'm gonna do the same thing we did previously as well. Go back and we'll do very bright highlights, similar to like the brightest bright that we did for the wood. So not our final highlight color yet on this stuff. But I am rapidly getting tired of it, so I am trying to wrap up at least this stage so we can do our bright highlights. And then the dog, then the face, then the hair, figure out the weapon. I mean, the weapon's already kind of figured itself out. I just have to go in and do it, but... Grab this side. going back to the mid-tone here in some of these highlights to make the transition a little less crappy, but it is what it is. This guy's not going to look that great. I'm just resigned to the fact because we're already at 15 minutes left, and I can't do miracles here, so as much as I would like this guy to look really good, I'm not going to be able to do it. So, oh well, but still fun. All right, I'm going to mix in some more white here. Is that enough of a... it's okay. I'm going to add a little bit more white, but I think that's pretty much good. So we're just brightening this stuff up pretty quickly. Very sloppy on the back, but it's okay. We do have to figure out something to do, though, about this gun he's got going on. Alright, so let's tackle the dog. Great. Okay. So I have this sort of ochre grayish tone mixed together. That'll be good enough for the doggy. Now that on his face, I'm going to take Auburn Shadow for a wash. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry. Family problems that are about to get insane. Apparently my dad has lost his mind about this COVID stuff and is saying that Australia is kidnapping children. And he told, because Sydney just had to go with him to go pick up my car. He doesn't do this in front of me, okay? But he does it every time he's around Sydney. And he literally was telling her that they are like kidnapping kids and that Sydney needs to know how to use a gun because things are about to get crazy and all kinds of stuff. He told me the other day he's going to die in 2 years because of his vaccine. So I don't know where he's hearing this bullshit, but I'm literally going to have to call my mom and tell her we are no longer going to be doing anything around them in the future unless he realizes he is scaring people with his absolute batshit nonsense he's saying. He's literally believing, like he's on TikTok believing bullshit. So I don't even know how to approach this issue, but it's about to get really nasty for my family here very shortly because I'm gonna have to call her today. I mean, he literally is a conspiracy theorist in the worst way, except he's going to be putting myself and other people in my family in danger, and I have no idea how to handle it because, like, I mean, it's just so stupid. He literally thinks people are going to die from, the vaccine is like a weapon, and he's been vaccinated, okay? Like, and my sister is a complete moron, like total moron, and she works in childcare and is around kids 24/7, and she's refusing to get the vaccine, so she might lose her job because she thinks she's listening to my dad, who's telling her that it's killing people and it's like a weapon. So, you know, I've just got some morons in my family. And which normally, like, you can have idiots in your family and it's not a big deal, but I don't want my mom to die. So, where do I even begin? Right? Like, this is just crazy. I never thought. I mean, my dad's always been an insane, like, conspiracy type, racist Republican. But I never thought it would get this bad. So. But I'm just gonna have to tell him he's not allowed to be around Sydney anymore because he's crazy. So, it is what it is. It's just so funny that we were talking about how Tony's mom didn't get vaccinated because she believed all of the insane conspiracy stuff, and now she is dying in the hospital. And here goes my dad believing that same bullshit. It's really cool, you know? I really wish that these social media apps would completely block all this stuff, but after the election, he was so upset he like deleted his Facebook account, and he was like, "I need to stay off social media because it's you know I lose my temper, right?" Because he like believed it was stolen and all that nonsense. And now he has a fake Facebook account under a fake name, so I know he's back on there believing whatever he's believing. Well, he's believing kids are being rounded up. Literally, like, I just looked up like all the random things he just said, and it's like immediately not true, right? Or like he said, schools are vaccinating kids in Ohio without parent permission. Well, yeah, they are. The law says it's a high school, right? High schools, kids 16 and up are allowed to decide for themselves, right? But he's like, no, they're doing it to children. Like, no, they're not. You are listening to insane psychopaths on TikTok, dude. Like, what? Oh my god. But this sucks, right? Because, like, we don't have a washer and dryer. Like, so this is what's interesting, right? Like, I don't have a washer and dryer. My parents live 2 minutes away, so we see them every week. We always see them. We'll have dinner, whatever. We do laundry. Now, because I'm going to have to confront him about what he's doing and saying, you know, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to see my mom. He typically will try and retaliate. Anytime we have a fight, he'll say nasty things to me. You know, he'll be mean. But it sucks because, like, we've had a totally fine relationship this whole time. He got vaccinated, right? Whatever, it was all good. And now he's lost his mind. And I know this is going to cause serious problems. So, this is what I'm going to have to deal with tonight. And I am really not looking forward to it. Because there is no, like, my dad, I'm not going to be able to change his mind. I'm just going to have to, you know, I don't even know, man. This sucks. I'm just going to have to call my mom and be like, hey, here's the deal. You know? She's not like that at all. She just thinks he's like, you know, oh, just ignore it, right? Like, that's always her take on it, but no, there is no more ignoring it if it means, like, she's in danger because he's doing crazy shit and, like, believing things that aren't true. Like, he can make his own stupid decisions and believe TikTok conspiracies and whatever nonsense he's doing, but I'm not gonna let her, you know, be in danger from it. Like, that's just so crazy to me. Okay. Should we do the same glow that we did for the other lady? Or other lady, the other vampire hunter. We'll do the same glow for his smokestack. How about that? I need more of this black here. I'm gonna mix up like a very light color to kind of do some highlights on the hair a little bit. And we will call it a day. Man. What a weird way to end the day, dealing with this. The times we live in, I guess. And then we'll get some phthalo green. And then I'll do a little bit of a reflection here in the middle. Nothing crazy. All right, well, that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys had fun hanging out. I definitely like the sculpt. I think it's pretty cool. Who doesn't love a dog and a vampire hunter? They always go hand in hand. So, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing another hour on the bust that we've been working on. And then the Miniature Monday minis after that. So, thanks so much, guys. Adios.